Okay, so the other day, I had this really strange dream, and it stuck with me. And by the other day, I mean probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I told my kids about it, and they think I'm weird, but that kind of goes without saying. Anyway, the dream involved myself and 3 other people. One of the people I know, I've met them a couple times, talked to them, but I can't call them on the phone or anything. It's somebody I know, an acquaintance, but not even that level really. The second person I've seen on TV. I appreciate their talent, but I don't know them at all whatsoever. And the third person is this mashup, this conglomeration of people that either I do know or should know or might know. And I'm not 100% sure what the details are on that one. But anyway, so the number one person, the first person, number one, is Billy Sheehan. He's a bass player with Mr. Big for a long time. Prior to that, with David Lee Roth. And then he's done a bunch of stuff by himself as well. Consummate musician. He's phenomenal on the bass. Came over to Japan a few times for different tours that I worked with, and also some clinics and things like that. So we've chatted, but I think if you said, hey, do you know Dave, he would shrug his shoulders. Story of my life. But anyway, and the second person was Patton Oswald. Now, I used to watch TV a lot before, and I remember him on the Drew Carey Show. I'm pretty sure it's where it was at. And I've also seen a couple of his stand-up performances, and I know that his wife passed away a while ago. Other than that, I have no connection with him whatsoever. And the third person, number 3. Number 3 is a weird one. It's this conglomeration of people that I know, or a person that I know, or might know, or should know, or I don't know how to put it in the right words. But anyway, it's this Mediterranean woman that I have some kind of connection with. She pops up in my writing sometimes. I have seen her before, but I don't know if I know her. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so those are the 3 main characters besides myself that are in this. What happened was, the opening scene, I was walking under this bridge that had a bunch of little stores on both sides of it, on the underpass. In Japan, where a lot of these highways converge and they go over and under each other and stuff like that, the space underneath on the lowest floor, if you want to call it, but the ground level, I guess, they'll have shops lined up on either side. Sometimes these shops are newspaper stands, sometimes they're little dive bars or ramen shops that have 2 stools. I mean, just little tiny shops, but they're making the most of the space that they have. So I'm walking through, and I know in my dream that this is Japan, but it has a European feel to it, and I can't understand why that is. But anyway, I've seen places like this in Japan, and I've been 2 places like this in Japan, so I'm 99% sure it was Japan. Anyway, I'm walking through, this door opens to a dive bar, and Billy Sheehan walks out, and he's like, hey, Dave. So I'm like, hey, how are you? And we chit-chat a little bit, and he's like, you've never taken a picture with me before. Let's get a picture done. Okay, whatever. I take my phone out. I'm getting ready to do the selfie with him. This girl walks out, and she says, do you want me to take it for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So Billy and I lean in, reach out, take the picture. She hands my phone back. Billy says bye, and I leave. That's it. The next morning, I wake up in a hotel. I go downstairs for breakfast, and as I'm eating breakfast, I'm flipping through my phone, catching up on emails, messages, things like that, and there's no picture of Billy. Well, I look up from my phone for some reason, and the girl, this Mediterranean girl, is 2 tables over. And I tell her, hey, did you forget to push the button or something? Because I can't find my picture here with Billy. And she goes, oh, pictures with Billy cost $2,000. We sent you a bill. Once you pay the bill, we'll release the picture to you. And I'm like, kiss my ass. I'm not paying $2,000 for a picture. I don't care if it's the Queen of England. I'm not paying $2,000 for a freaking picture. So anyway, she gets kind of indignant with me, gets upset, says something, whatever, and she storms out. Well, it almost turns into a John Cusack movie now, Say Anything, because I have this weird emotion going on right now where, I want to win her back. So I chase her out of the restaurant, the restaurant in the hotel. We go outside, there's a bus, and she just put her luggage on the bus, and she's walking up the stairs. And I have that feeling like I'm holding the boombox above my head. I'm trying to win the woman back. And she's walking away, and we're talking, but nothing's happening. There's no connection being made, to get her back. And she just leaves. And of course, as the bus pulls out, it starts to rain. Because rain and sadness and her leaving or whatever. And that's the end of that scene. Later on that same day, I'm angry because she was trying to charge me $2,000 for a picture with Billy. So I go ahead and I call his agent. I find every webmail address I can for him, fan groups, whatever, and I blast this woman. I'm like, hey, someone tried to charge me $2,000 for a picture with Billy. He's getting scammed. Let him know, let him know, let him know. And that's it for that scene. The next scene, I'm walking through a mall. I know I'm still in Japan. It's a Japanese mall. It's huge, 2 or 3 stories. I'm walking. I come up to a Kinokuniya, which is this huge bookstore chain, kind of like Barnes & Noble. But anyway, I'm going through the store. I like books. I like to read. And there's an author table set up. And I pick up the book, and I'm looking at it, and it's Patton Oswald, the comedian. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just kind of flipping through the book a little bit. I get tapped on the shoulder. I turn around, and it's Patton Oswald, the guy that wrote the book. And he says, hey, are you here for the signing? And I'm like, sure, okay. So he goes to sign my book, and we just chit-chat a little bit, why are you here in Japan? Why are you here in Japan? What you doing? That kind of thing. It goes back and forth a little bit. And then he goes, hey, would you like to get a picture with me signing the book? And I'm like, okay, sure, let's do that. He looks up at me, and he says, don't worry, I won't charge you $2,000 like Billy does. And that's the dream. I woke up. That's it. You have any insight, let me know. If I'm crazy, let me know, but I already know. Thank you much. We'll talk to you later.